Between rumor and reality lies a fragile line, one that fame can blur, twist, or erase completely. And when it comes to Dylan Wang and Shen Yu, that line has never been easy to define. Their story has been whispered, debated, and dissected by millions. But what if, this time, the truth didn't come from speculation, but from Dylan himself? Before we dive into the emotional and unexpected message Dylan Wang sent to Shen Yu, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications, because this story is one you'll never forget. It all started with a single post, one that came out of nowhere, late at night, when the internet was quiet. Dylan Wang, usually private and careful with what he shares online, broke his silence with a heartfelt message that sent fans into an emotional spiral. It wasn't promotional, it wasn't scripted, and it definitely wasn't part of a press release. It was raw, personal, and full of emotion, directed at one person, Shen Yu. For years, fans have lived in the space between rumor and reality when it comes to these two stars. From their unforgettable chemistry in Meteor Garden to their off-screen friendship that always seemed to blur the lines of acting and affection, the world has been watching, waiting for confirmation of what they all secretly believed. Were Dylan and Shen Yu more than just co-stars? Was their connection real, or simply one of the best on-screen partnerships ever created? But Dylan's message changed everything. The post began simply, almost cryptically. He wrote, "Sometimes, silence becomes too heavy to carry. So tonight, I'll speak, not for attention, not for the headlines, but for her." Those words alone set social media ablaze. Within minutes, screenshots spread across Weibo, Twitter, and fan forums. Everyone wanted to know, who was her? It didn't take long for fans to connect the dots. The next line confirmed what many had suspected for years. "Shen Yu, thank you for being the calm in my storm." That single sentence broke the internet. Fans cried, screamed, and shared the post millions of times. For those who have followed their journey since 2018, this was more than a message, it was validation, a glimpse into a truth long hidden behind contracts, management control, and the walls of celebrity life. But to truly understand the weight of those words, you have to go back to where it all began. When Dylan Wang and Shen Yu first met on the set of Meteor Garden, they were both relatively new to the spotlight. The pressure was immense, the expectations sky high. Yet from the very beginning, their connection was undeniable. Even behind the scenes, their laughter came naturally, their conversations seemed effortless. Crew members often said that the chemistry they showed on screen wasn't acting, it was instinct. Still, the entertainment world can be ruthless. Rumors of romance between co-stars are almost inevitable, and both of them learned to navigate it with professionalism. They denied the speculations, saying they were just good friends, while fans continued to ship them relentlessly. Every glance, every accidental touch, every shared interview moment became viral. They were the nation's favorite pair, the dream duo. But what no one knew then was that their friendship wasn't always easy. Fame came fast, and so did the noise. Dylan's career skyrocketed, while Shen Yu struggled to balance her rising popularity with her quiet nature. The two found themselves on separate paths, working on different projects, appearing in fewer interviews together. The world began to wonder, had the magic faded? Behind the scenes, though, their bond endured. They still checked in on each other, still exchanged quiet messages of support, even when they couldn't be seen together publicly. In one rare interview, Shen Yu once hinted, "Some friendships are too real to be shown on camera. They exist in the small moments people don't see." Fans didn't realize then how meaningful that statement truly was. And that brings us back to Dylan's message, the one that revealed just how deep that connection runs. After thanking Shen Yu for being his calm, Dylan continued his post with words that felt almost poetic, "The world only sees what it wants to see. It forgets that we are human too, that sometimes, the person who makes you laugh on set also becomes the one who helps you breathe when the cameras stop." Fans were stunned. Some called it a confession. Others said it was closure. But everyone agreed, Dylan's tone was different. It wasn't promotional, it wasn't romanticized for the media. It was sincere, almost painfully honest. He continued, "There were times I wanted to speak, to tell the truth, but I stayed silent. Maybe out of fear, maybe out of respect. But silence can become its own prison. I just want to say thank you, for your patience, your kindness, and your belief in me when I didn't even believe in myself." It was at that moment that fans began to recall everything Dylan and Shen had been through, from public scrutiny to private struggles. Over the years, rumors had circulated about tension between them, even suggesting they had grown apart completely. Some claimed they hadn't spoken in years. But this message told a very different story, one of enduring respect, gratitude, and possibly, love. Behind the noise, something beautiful unfolded. Sources close to both stars revealed that they had quietly reconnected in person soon after. One insider shared they met not as celebrities, but as two people who'd been through a lot. There were no cameras, no fans, just honesty. And that's what makes this story so powerful. It's not about scandal, not about hidden love affairs, it's about two souls who found a way to stay connected in an industry that often breaks people apart. Months later, during a live event, Dylan was asked what inspired his late-night post. He smiled faintly and said, "Some people leave, and you wish them well. Some people stay, and you thank them quietly. I just wanted to say my thank you out loud." The crowd erupted in applause, knowing exactly who he was referring to. That moment reminded everyone why Dylan Wang is so beloved, not just for his talent, but for his heart. His words carried vulnerability, something rare in an industry that thrives on image. And Shen, ever the graceful soul, continued to live quietly, away from unnecessary attention. But fans noticed she began smiling more in recent appearances. Her interviews carried a lightness, a peace that felt new. Maybe that's what happens when old wounds heal and old friendships find their way back. There's something timeless about their story, how two people who once lit up screens as fictional lovers now represent something real and grounding in a world full of illusions. Theirs is a story of gratitude over gossip, understanding over misunderstanding, and quiet connection over public noise. Whether they're together romantically or not doesn't even matter anymore. What matters is that, through everything, the rumors, the distance, the years apart, Dylan and Shen still hold a space for each other. And in that space, truth lives. So maybe, just maybe, the real story between Dylan Wang and Shen was never about who they were to each other, but what they meant to each other. Maybe it's about the kind of love that doesn't need to be shouted from rooftops, the kind that simply exists, quietly, between rumor and reality. And perhaps that's why Dylan's message hits so deeply. Because in a world obsessed with loud declarations, his soft words reminded everyone that some feelings don't fade, they just wait for the right moment to be spoken. As we close today's story, one thing is clear: between all the rumors, the speculation, and the silence, there was always truth hiding in plain sight. Dylan's message wasn't just to Shen, it was to everyone who's ever loved sincerely, quietly, and bravely. So if you believe in love that endures distance, time, and misunderstanding, don't forget to subscribe and join our community of fans who keep believing in stories that touch the heart, because between rumor and reality, there's always something real. And for Dylan Wang and Shen, that something will never fade.